Hello Year 4s, welcome back. In our previous lesson, we started looking at explanation texts and what they were. Today, we are going to be carrying on our work with explanation texts, and we're going to be looking at the features that are found in an explanation text, and we are going to be creating a toolkit for what is needed when writing your own explanation text. As discussed yesterday, an explanation text tells you how something works or gives you information about something. So we looked at the fact that an explanation text is often explaining how something works. So I used the example of the water cycle, how the water cycle works, each of the parts that make it up, but in total you're looking at how the water cycle works as a whole. We also discussed how an explanation text was different from a non-chronological report and instructions, which are also obviously different non-fiction writing. So today we will be looking at the features that make up an explanation text, and I will show you some examples with these features highlighted in them. An explanation text is made up of the following features. It's written in present tense and using formal language. The only instance was if it was an explanation text about something in the past. So it is in present tense. The text is arranged into either numbered points or into paragraphs with subheadings, but this is all obviously written in chronological order. So it goes from one point into another. We use time conjunctions like first, then, next, later, finally. We also make sure to use technical vocabulary. So this is also sometimes written in bold or it can be underlined. And this, for example, is vocabulary that is specific to the topic that you are discussing. So again, if I use the example of the water cycle, if we use the word precipitation and condensation, that is technical vocabulary that is linked to the water cycle. It can also include a glossary. A glossary is usually a small box that will be in your explanation text, and this explains some of the technical vocabulary that's being used in the explanation text. They can also include diagrams with labels, or it can often include a picture with a caption explaining what the picture is about. We also use time connectives, and these are to give reason to some of the things that you've written. So it can be things like using because, so, this causes, and that obviously links and gives more of an explanation to what you are talking about.
Pause the screen now and write down the features of an explanation text.
In the next few slides, I will give you some examples of explanation texts, and in that will be some of the features that we've just gone through. They will be highlighted on the sides.
As mentioned previously, you can see that we have an opening sentence that makes you want to read on or find out more about what you are reading. It is also written in clear, simple points that are in chronological order. We have our fronted adverbials at the beginning of our sentences, and they are obviously also time conjunctions telling us when it's happening, so just before, after a short period. We can also see that explanations are written in the present tense, except for historical explanations that are then written in a past tense, but we will be looking at ones written in the present tense. We also, as mentioned previously, look at conjunctions that show time. So then, next, several months later. We also use connectives to show reasoning, giving more information. These are like because, so, this causes. Again, going over some of the features, we've also got time conjunctions that help the reader to understand the order. We use technical vocabulary that's significant to what we are reading about, diagrams and pictures that are accurately written and explained. We use an introduction, we have a title, it's written in the present tense, and we also use text boxes like a did you know or an interesting fact box to help engage the reader. To remind us about how do we know if we're reading an explanation text, I will go over some questions that you would need to answer. Does it have a title that tells the reader how or what or why something is happening? Is it written in the present tense? Do we see third person pronouns for they, he, she? Is it organized into paragraphs? Does it have subheadings that organize the information? Does it use technical vocabulary that is specific to the topic you're reading about? Does it use time conjunctions and connectives? Connectives like if and so and because? Does it use diagrams and flowcharts to provide further information about the topic? If you have answered yes, then you are reading an explanation text. You are spot.
My task to you today is to create your own toolkit with the features of an explanation text in them. Just like we do at school, you are welcome to write the features in and then have a corresponding picture that goes with it, and that's just to help you visualize what you need when you are writing explanation texts. Please make sure to share with us all your work. We've been having a lot of you sending it through via Tapestry or email, and it's been really lovely to see how hard you're working and how much you're enjoying seeing our videos. So please do share your work with us. We'd love to see it.